Hello, Cardinals. It's Mr. Mon, and we're going to talk about Lesson 5 reflection today. We're going to be looking back at the different investigations, and our focus question for this lesson is, how do temperature, salinity, and winds affect ocean currents? So we need to review from investigation 5.3 when we looked at the effects of wind on surface currents. And now today we're going to be constructing an explanation on how a variety of items like temperature, salinity, and wind affect the movement of oceans. Want to review your vocabulary with you. The first vocabulary word was ocean currents, and that's the movement of ocean waters in a specific direction. Surface currents are an ocean movement produced and guided by the wind. Salinity is the amount of salt in the ocean water. Currents is a fluid moving in a definite direction. Ocean currents are caused by the rise and fall of tides, winds, and salinity. Gulf Stream is a current that carries heat from the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea to the North Atlantic. Upwelling is the rising of cold, deep water, which brings nutrients from the ocean bottom. El Niño is an unusually warm flow of surface water formed when trade winds weaken. How air moves. Air moves from high pressure to low pressure. Warm air means it's less dense and is low pressure. Cold air means it's more dense and has high pressure. The equator is a permanent area of low pressure, and the poles are high pressure. And then finally, how water moves. Cold water is more dense than warm water, causing it to sink. More salty water is more dense than less salty water. These rising and sinking ocean waters result in a predictable pattern of surface and deep ocean currents. You're going to look at your reflection today, and for reflection 1, you're going to answer the following questions. We got 1A is, what does the effect of temperature have on the movement of water? 1B is the effect of salinity on the movement of water. And 1C, how does the direction of wind affect the surface currents in your Petri dish? And then how do you think that's similar to ocean currents? Reflection number 2 is to look at the currents marked on your world map, which you should have done in investigation 5.3. And what patterns do you notice in the movement of currents? How do you think ocean currents affect the weather globally? And how are these passive currents affect the plotted surface currents you plotted on the map, similar to those of the global winds, the trade winds, the westerlies, and the easterlies? And then when you get time, you're going to look at the KWL chart and then add any information you feel necessary. So our lesson 5 reflection is to complete steps 1 through 3. Make sure you go back to that KWL chart on Google Classroom, and then you're going to read Extending Your Knowledge, both mapping ocean currents and El Nino stirs up the world's weather. Make sure you have all your vocabulary words done, and there is an exit slip today. And tomorrow we will have the lesson 5 quiz. All right, so good luck with everything today, and please let me know if you have any questions.